sure if it's going to eat up the whole hour or not, but let's just get through it. We'll leave time for questions and all the fun stuff, and then if we have a little bit of time left over, maybe we can just talk through anything that we need to talk about, defects, open questions, things like that.
Sounds good to me.
I'm sorry, Jigger, can you remind me when the review meeting is for the Sprint 2, the design review?
We'll get that on your calendar, Joe. I don't think that there's anything scheduled, but hopefully we can add some time this week if you have the availability this week.
Okay, but I mean, that's going to happen when Sprint 2 development begins, right?
Well, technically we've done 2 review sessions, and so this would be for Sprint 3, right? So the next review session would be for, no?
I'm sorry, but we haven't come to consensus on the Sprint 2 design yet, so we need to start there first.
So Joe, if you remember, right, we started on the Sprint 2 design items. If you remember, like, we talked about the staging items and we shared the document with you. You said you are going to review the document and you are going to add your comments and we can have a discussion on that.
Yeah, and I've done that, and I've laid out my concerns about the proposed design, and so my expectation was that we were going to have a design review, as we talked about numerous times, before Sprint 2 development begins.
I can see the call today, Joe.
Okay. Okay, we really need to be on the same page.
We're ready to go. All right, I'm going to record this for future references. So,
yes, thank you. I was going to request
Meeting being recorded.
for decision. I need to drop off on South of to attend another meeting. So recording.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. We'll be sure to share the recordings and then any materials as well after the call. So, your stuff, if you need to drop, you'll have the link for the recording and everything. So, let's get started. I'm going to just kind of orient us back into what the planned demo will cover, and just a re-review of what Sprint 1 entailed. So, most of it is going to be focused on, if not all of it, most of it's just going to be realignment, redetermination, the updates to the UI, the addition of research parameters, and then the processing of certain jobs. So we'll demo that for the most part. And then there is a batch error processing email UI that we built as well to help configure who gets email notifications when the error reports go down, and then we'll share the template as well for the error notifications. So just wanted to quickly flash this before jumping back into the demo. And I know one of the questions that'll come up, so I'm just going to nip this in the bud. There's a requirement for an ad hoc execution. So the ability to kind of circumvent the effective date and just to make a particular ruled territory active within the same day, right? These are these one-off edge cases where we need to deploy and load the data and load all the territory data and make it active within within less than a 24-hour cycle, right? Almost in real time. So that requirement will be covered as part of Sprint 5 in case anybody's curious. Okay. So the first requirement was around the addition of the application in the admin app. So I'm in the admin app. We've added an RARD UI. So the link for the UI is within here, and it's also in the app setting right here. It's a little bit at the tail end, but it's an easily accessible screen if you need to get it. And once again, I think some of this is already work that was done before, right? The decision to execute at the account level or the territory level. That process. And so we have a couple of options here. You can do a manual alignment. I'll get to the process all records at the tail end, but this is a new requirement with regards to processing all open run process records. So let's start here. So for accounts, we've added a few new search parameters. So including country, LEN, GPN number, I think ID and name had already existed. A couple caveats about how these search parameters work, right? So your ID and your LEN and your GPN numbers are going to be exact, right? So you can't really, you want to make sure if you're putting in an ID, you're very, it's fun.
You need to search with ID. You have kept like a name.
Name.
Name. You're right. Thanks, guys.
Ended with I. Okay. No.
No, it's just something that's identified in our process. So IDs are exact, and then country and name can be a little bit. They're more of a contained search parameter. Search something from France or FR. While this is searching, just a couple of bullet points I wanted to just throw out there while it's recording. So we can display around 500 records at a time. And another just point that I want to kind of call out too is that if, as an admin, Joe, if you're using the screen, you want to make sure that your user settings are bypassing the trigger. So at the profile level, those two check marks we put, you want to make sure those are activated as you're using these.
It's limited to 500.
It is again governor limits, Joe. So we were facing heap limit issues, so that is being restricted for 500 now.
500 on one page. Sorry, go ahead.
No, we're going to ask the same question, I'm pretty sure. I was just wondering what happens in the case if there is more than 500. Is there a concept of pagination, or how do we pick up what we didn't pick up on the first page?
So what happens is like once you reprocess it, okay, Jigar, if you want to come to that account, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead then. Yeah.
So, Joe, what you want to do is like anytime a record is processed, we have this determination date that's stamped here. So in any case, let's say you do something wide like France, right? That you know is going to return more than like 500 records or something like that. You'll want to select all process these, and then you can filter on or off based on this. So since these have already been, I think this is pretty recent. You can check this off to find the ones that have been reprocessed or search off from those. That makes sense. So if we reprocess these in the near-term future, as I'll show you in a couple of steps, they don't show up in the query view. Does that make sense, Joe?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out in the case where, say, a redetermination happened this morning, and the reason that you're running a manual reprocessing is because you need to fix something, then the determination date isn't helpful in figuring out what you just processed from page 1 and what remains to be processed.
No, Joe. So that will give you both the information, right? So today morning, if you have reprocessed it, or if Territory engine has processed it, so that information you will get it on the load. Once you reprocess it from the screen, then we stamp the redetermination date. And still, if there is any issue you want to fix it, then click on the reprocess account. That will get you the record which got reprocessed or determined today, and that record you will get it over here.
But I'm sorry, you dropped off at least from my phone, Kishore.
So let's walk it through, Joe. I think I'm guessing what you're trying to say. So if assuming these are 500 records, we have executed a realignment of this set of records. Now, if I got to know that there are still some problem and I want to reprocess the same set of account, what is the process in that scenario? Before I ask this question, next question. So if I want to reprocess the same set of account which I have executed like an hour back, 500.
Can you guys hear me? Hello? Cool. Cool. Okay, so this gives you an example of uh, that record. This particular record got reprocessed, got determined today. Okay, so now you want to reprocess the same account. So what you will have to do is like just click on the button, and that button will give you the reprocessed accounts plus the accounts which were yet to be processed. So both the things, the data it will give you over here. No, we did it realigned. So that is why you got that. Yeah, it's 24 hours. It's 1 day. So we have a limitation on this. Probably we will let you know the numbers. Initially it was like around 400 or 500 IDs, but I'll give you the right IDs, how much we can do it. — 500, Akash. So it's 500. Yeah. 15 or 18 again. No. And this will take only GPN or LAN, not the customers. We'll come up there. Go ahead, Jigar, yeah. And one more thing to add over here is, so right now this particular piece runs for 50 records. So when you run it, when you select 50 records and run it, so this will be a sync process. Okay, so that means it is a trigger which triggers all the TM engine and gets you all its respective ATM, and it will start inserting to its respective accounts. But what if there is above 50 accounts? So now if it is above 50 accounts, then what we do is like we pull all the other remaining, not other, I mean like we pull everything which is beyond 50 and put it in batch, so that this particular piece runs on batch without any governor limits. So if it is below 50, it is a trigger. If it is above 50, then it is a batch. No, it's a manual selection. Or yeah. So Jigar, why don't you just click on select all and run it? Let's show them the real line. Yes. Yeah, in the yes, correct. Yeah, Julie. Now, when you see the error message or the success message, it's like you have got a link initially before the first time. I mean, like when first time Jigar triggered it, so he got a message saying like the job's processed and it got completed. But when you see above 50 records, you got a message saying like this has gone to a batch queue. So that way you can decide whether it is a batch process or it is a trigger process. Yeah. So the processing 50 records will not have any impacts. So Jigar, why don't you come back to the previous screen and select again France and start running that. Yeah. Yeah, Joe. So yeah, I got it. So now check whether the job is completed or not. We'll just cross check. Okay, so Jigar, you're breaking. Or is it me? Yeah, so now select all and then, okay. Yeah. Correct. So now, Joe, as per your request, I mean, like your question, when Julie or yourself running couple of multiple batches, then you'll get this error, one thing. And if it is below 50 will trigger as it is. So that should be okay. Record locking will happen only if you are processing the same record. So this is, Yes, again, so that record locking issues will throw up an error message in your screen when the trigger got an error. 100%, 100%, yes. And to avoid it, again, so don't process the same record with the other users who is processing it. That's all. Mhm. Uh, 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 Yeah, yeah, Akash. So, uh, but Akash again, so we suggest not to add them on territory users rules and hierarchies as well, because we already have the batch running, and once the batch is completed, and so there will be no discrepancies. So if there is anything which you need to add it, please add it after the batch job is completed. No, no, there will be an impact because the rules change. The main TM engine runs on territory users and territory rules. So when you go and add it, if you're adding an inactive rule, then it is fine. But if you're adding an active rule, then that gets messed up and batch will fail. Yeah, it will appear. Yes, I mean like once your rules is saved, then you can get that particular rule from here, and you can reprocess it. That should be okay. No, no, the failed batch job you cannot get it anywhere. So you get it only on the batch job screen. That's all, which is in the next tab over there. Yeah. So over here you will get all the batch job errors. What is the issue and what is the error. So that information you will get it over here. Correct. So that failure, you will have to fix the record and come back to RARD screen and check for which rule it got failed or which rule you want to reprocess it. Then you can reprocess it, and it will reprocess account opportunity and product interest based on what you select. That you can do it. Yes. User by user. Yeah, again, yeah, it is total number of records. Yes. And when you try to do the research of France again, it will give you only 200. It will not give you other 500. Yes, it is on the same day. It will give you only 200. And when you click on the checkbox and reprocess it, then it will give you 500, and again you will have to reprocess, select whichever you want. What? Sorry, I did not get it. The filtering is based on the determination date. When you click on reprocess, then we will get you all data which is reprocessed today. And if it is like you are doing it tomorrow, which is not equal to today, then you will get the yesterday's data also over here without even clicking the reprocessor. Okay. One thing just to add on this, no, it is getting there. So when you see this, it is 8.3. So just one thing to add on this is like this button, when you click on realign, only then the determination will be stamped, not on the nightly jobs. So when the France is processed at the nightly jobs at 12:01, then the determination date will not be populated. But when you process it from this particular VF page or RID page, only then we stamp the determination date. Yeah. Exactly, yes. Yeah. Yeah, we are doing MD70s, so we'll just update you by today or tomorrow. And so coming back to this RAID screen, we have added the filter conditions only for territory rules section. So that way, I think whatever you search on rules, so we just pick up the rules and realign all the accounts and contracts and accounts, opportunities, and product interest. So that way, we are closing the rule section as well over there. Hello? Okay. Jigar? Hello? Yes. Yeah, I think this is one of the exceptions what we got in either from process builders or something else. But any exceptions, you will get it out here from Apex. Yeah. It's 471. Yeah. So that happens on a trigger level, but this is a batch of processing. So over here, we are good. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like notifying users, notifying Yeah. I mean, like there's super corner case when this job is running, and if a end user is processing the same account, which is like never ever going to happen that, but still that way it will throw on record lock, and the record lock will be again on trigger level, not on the batch level. So batch runs good over here. Yeah. No, no, it will not impact anything. So again, no. So it is like when this particular, no, ignore it, Neil. I think Julie has got it, but yeah, this thing is like, so when there is a record which is processing in the batch, and you're, see, one batch is equal to 200 records, right? So you never know which record got processed because there is no sequence. By any chance, if the same record, which is corner case, super corner case, again I'm mentioning it, and if the record and the batch is updating the same record, then you will get a record lock error. But other than that, nothing is an impact. It will not registered. It will throw in a page, or it will throw in exception as to the SAP side that there is a record lock. That re-triggering SAP will get a report, Neil. Yeah, technically,
Exactly.
You agree with that?
So, yeah.
It's converting, and it's converting properly?
Yep.
So,
Do you want to also weigh in that statement, please?
Yeah. So what I'll do first, I'll just.
No, I mean that's fine. You may not want to do it all over again. But what I'm asking is that if at all you don't have this run check once, which essentially means it runs the trigger multiple times. So that time does the standardization happen properly?
Yes, that time standardization will work, but we'll get one not one error.
Right.
One
Because
not-
multiple triggers are on there. Yes.
Yes. So that was the problem. And so like when I was checking the data which you have used, so there we are not using like where we are not creating this product interest. So and also SAP ID fields were not populated, and those fields were entry point for multiple triggers. Maybe that's why when you are converted lead, you are not getting one not one error. So that is my thought.
Yep.
I mean, could we work through what looked to be the successful, so there's one in particular, successful setting setup for me, and then introduce the complexity that made it fail? Do you know what I mean? Could we go through that? Because there was only one setting, that did that successfully.
You means like you are saying you enable contact trigger, and you converted lead, and it converted and standardization worked perfectly. You are saying, right?
I think that's the setting, but if we could look at the spreadsheet, it's clear what was successful and what wasn't. I don't have it right in front of me. I've been looking for it.
Yeah, I guess I have.
No, how did I just, yeah. So if you were to scroll to the left, and you can see I put a box around the 3 rows that were successful. Yeah, if you scroll down just a little, there'll be the 3 passes in a row. And
Pass
that's the
this
box.
one. You mean this one?
Or I think I do. Are those the 3 leads should get converted and
Yep,
so,
I did.
no, I don't think that's it. I think it's because that's how many tests are there? Are there 3 or 4? Yeah, well that's correct. 4 or 5 tests. I believe that's right. If we could zoom out or something, so we can see all of them, it'd be clearer. Thanks. There's only so the box is used.
So, you are referring to this row, right?
Yeah, so you were right. It was contact trigger was checked, and the run once was unchecked. And maybe it's the proven work settings, or maybe I neglected a step or something, but it worked successfully. All of these things: the lead conversion, the account validation, the update, contact validation, standardization, insert, update, all those things.
So yeah, I think this is good point to just hold on the thought. So Ravi, can you just scroll to your right? I think that exactly. I think Joe, correct. So I think maybe what Ravi is saying, right, is Ravi, to your comments, please. Yeah. So Ravi's comments are there. So what Ravi is saying is generally this multi triggers would fire whenever we select the CRM ID plus the multi select of the product interest. So in the test record, what you may have used. So these settings, if we don't use, right, so it may still run in the single trigger mode. So that was the only difference what we said, because I think for us what's happening, wherein if you remember,
initially we started around lead conversion failures. That's where we shut that contact trigger checkbox as untrue, right? Some history behind it, right? And then Cronenberg came back and said enable single, and then you can have this checked as well, the contact trigger, right? So yesterday, maybe, I mean, what test you have done is absolutely right. But I think if we select these things, right, the multi-select quick list and the SAP cust ID, CRM ID, contact ID over there. So then with that contact checkbox on, it will give the 101 SQL error.
Could we just, and I don't doubt you at all, but could we just see it like toggle one way or another with one of those fields or all those fields, whatever the requirement is, populated, and just see that in action, that it works without those, but once we introduce those particular fields, it fails? Because that's got to mean something that is there's a trigger that only cares about those fields being populated, and that is causing a rate condition or something where when those aren't filled, Provenworks works just fine, but maybe there's an additional trigger that looks at those.
Sure. So I think, yeah, sure, Joe. I think we'll do that. But if you see just that node, right, we have put our approximate understanding as well over there. If you populate these fields in the note, if you see below point number 2, so we are saying that if you populate these fields which I have mentioned above, that will cover the business use case and fire multiple triggers. So that's where I think ideally it will raise the multiple triggers, and maybe Cronenberg is not handling, but I think no harm in checking that. No harm in checking that.
But so I understand that Provenworks is the last one that's throwing up the, that it was the one running at the time that the SQL limit was run into. But the simple fact that it works when the additional Deloitte triggers aren't called makes it tougher to lay the blame at Provenworks' feet, I think. That even though when Provenworks stuff, I guess, isn't involved, your stuff doesn't throw too many SQL query errors. Is that true? Like if these fields were filled out and the contact trigger was turned off at Provenworks, there is no SQL 101 limit error.
When we raised this issue with Cronenberg, right, Joe, I think that is where they came back with that single run, single only. When we said that, hey, your process is fiddling with our lead conversion, so can you please take a look? That's where they came back and said that, yeah, enable these two settings. And we enabled those two settings. The side effect of that, which Julie caught and which is right, is standardization at contact is not happening. I mean, we can do that. I mean, I'm not denying that we cannot do it. We can definitely, convert those and then check that. But I'm just telling you that, we have already done that analysis, and maybe for them to check. If you want us to, create one more data here on the call, we are happy to do that. Should not be a problem.
I don't know. It's hard for me to figure out how it can be them. I think their trigger is being called multiple times. They give us an option to only call it once. That's not working. So I don't know what else we can ask of them. So is there another way we can fill in this state value? Can we do it ourselves, or is this, can we just look at the Provenworks tables and populate that field in one of your triggers that's already operating on the contact record? Because that's the thing, there's so many triggers firing on the record, it's just, that's what it seems like anyway.
you don't think it's worth going back to them and showing them what's not working?
I do.
Seeing if they have another recommendation.
Oh, I do. I'm not saying don't, but I think it's going to be a tough case because if you turn off Deloitte triggers, Provenworks works fine. So, and if you turn off Provenworks triggers, Deloitte stuff works fine. I guess I haven't seen that, but I believe that's accurate. So
But Joe, yeah, one thing to add on that, right? So our triggers are built on like enterprise framework, okay? So once any of the action any of the triggers actions which goes in it comes out only after the DML has happened or operations has happened. So coming back to this particular scenario, after all our transactions has happened, then ProOnWorks is getting triggered, and we are seeing this 101 inside the package and not outside the package, right? So if it is outside, then it would have been like clearly mentioned and it would have been a Deloitte thing, but it is inside the package, and after the execution of our triggers, only then it is getting populated. Again, it is multiple triggers, and you will not know which trigger is getting triggered for the first time. So that case, I think even if it is Deloitte trigger, it is failing, then that would have been given a clear statement that it is from an unmanaged package. If it is unmanaged, then it is ours.
Okay.
So irrespective of any time, how many times you trigger it, it still goes in ProOnWorks. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but just to make sure I understood you correctly, are you saying, you can't be, but that your triggers only fire on after? I don't understand what that meant, where you know they only fire once.
No. So I said the actions, not after triggers. So all those before insert, after inserts, so it goes only once, that's all. So all our triggers are built in such a framework that once it goes inside, it completes the operation and then it goes to the next action.
So there's no before update going on in your triggers?
Maybe it is. I have to check again.
Because if there's a before update possible, wouldn't that mean that it could be called multiple times?
But the operations are happening after, right? So if it is before, then it would have updated the before context itself.
Well, so I think, I don't understand the intricacies of this, but I don't know that I have to. I think that, if we get a call with Provenworks, you guys will be able to more easily communicate these technical details between each other and, maybe come up with a suggestion. Does that make sense that I'll try and put a meeting together?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, makes sense.
Yes, we can take it up.
We should be able to talk through with them and explain that what's our analysis and what is their way, how they are looking at it, because the multiple things and stuff like that, right? So they can check them. Should not be a problem.
Okay, Julie, do you have other thoughts on an approach that we, other than putting a meeting together with everybody?
No, I think a meeting probably makes the most sense. And again, I would just make sure that we have the settings the way we want them, even if things aren't working, just so that they don't get confused as to what we're turning off and turning on. And then, yeah, and then show them that it doesn't work, and then, start from there.
So, as far as the settings, we still don't, the last I knew, we still don't know what the required fields are. So I don't know that we can say with confidence yet, and hopefully you can, what the settings and how to set them up.
Yeah, I think we had them set up last week the way, I think we know how we want them set up, right?
Do you? Oh, I don't, because I thought we still don't know what the required fields are for CRM. That's the last I knew.
I think the only one that was pending, and I think Shashir was the one that was going to look into it, is the zip code, whether a zip code was required or not.
Okay, so can we either set the settings now while we're all together in Provenworks, or can we set up another time where you can dictate to me and I'll set them up, because I don't have that comfort about knowing how to set them up. Not technically maybe, but which needs to be required at this point. I know
it's just city, state, country.
And I think in full test it's all there, right, Julie? I think whatsoever
Yeah.
changes are there. So they're all there in full test. So we can replicate this on full test by just enabling both of those triggers and say that, hey, now that the lead conversion issue has gone, only issue what we are saying is with this single run is on the contact standardization. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Make sense, Julie? with that thought?
Yeah, I think full test is set up for the states are all mandatory, cities are all mandatory, and countries are all mandatory.
Okay, I'll just look at, I'll look at full test and I'll make, full test look like full test, if that's all right, Deloitte. Just to get it back to that state. And what, go ahead.
I was just gonna add that, I mean, I still see some settings in full test that I don't understand because I don't understand what all of these settings are doing, so I don't know if they were just left over. But for example, there's the enable contact trigger is on, and also the contract and the lead trigger are on, and I don't know if those need to be on. It'd be good to understand from Proven Works exactly what we need on and what we don't.
Makes sense, Julian.
So, Deloitte folks, what scheduling wise would make it so most folks would be available? I know ProvenWorks is in the UK, so they're more closely aligned than we are, but, what, is there a window of
Yeah,
time?
sure, Joe.
that-
I think. I'm just checking. So UK timing, all right. So I think. See, we are good with the timings. What we need on the this one, right? The L2 checkpoint. Would that work? That timing tomorrow with them? I mean, timeline per se. I'm asking.
I'm just looking, I'm sure nothing's gonna preempt this meeting for me, but I just wanna see. So you're saying, if we could get together tomorrow at 9 a.m., does that work for you, Julie?
I can only do half an hour at 9, but yeah, that works. I have something at 9:30. Unless we could do
Would you
8.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We have that ITC 3 testing check, but I think that's safe for me to, avoid.
Me too.
With 8, okay, and Deloitte folks, does 8, Eastern, so an hour before the LTO, time work for you guys tomorrow?
Yeah, should be good, Joe. I think we are good. It turns out to around 5:30 our time, so I think we should be good. Yeah.
Okay, and it's like 2 o'clock their time, I think, so, once we hang up here, I'll send everybody, same note, and then if they come back with suggestions, maybe you guys can reply directly about your availability. If it doesn't work tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for going through this. I'm sorry it wasn't a simple conversation.
No problem, Joe. I think basically so we just needed this call with them so that we can talk through that and then get right things there, right? So with every email they give us one or the other settings which we as it's encapsulated, right? It's tough for any one of us. So thanks for that.
Thank you. Okay, well, I think I'm all set if you guys are.
Fine.
Yep, all set here. Thank you, Julie. Thanks, Joe.
Okay, bye.
Hey, bye-bye.
Hello? Hello?
Hey Kishore.
Hi, Suraj.
Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, just wanted to talk about 5 minutes, right, with all this demo today and next with call with Joe and Julie.
Yes, Suraj.
See, somewhere I think, one thing what we have to realize is that Joe is becoming pain in our ass. Okay?
For sure, yes.
Simple cheese, simple, he's like kind of, I don't know, ಏನು ಅವನಿಗಾಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಗ್ರಾಬಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೋ ಏನೋ.
He was not like this. No, he was not like this actually. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮೇ ಬಿ ರೈಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಫುಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಹಂಗೇನೋ ಮಾಡಿದಾನ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. But he's like kind of taking his shots, one shot, for sure.
Yeah.
And Julie wouldn't have been there today. He wouldn't have agreed to connect with those Pro Works fellows at all.
ಹೌದು. Yeah.
And what I will suggest is that when he said, but one, he has a bad habit. Okay?
Yeah.
What he will not come back and tell you is that what I understand. Okay, in ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವನು ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಓಕೆ?
ಹೌದು.
ನೋಡಿದಾನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನೀವು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Okay? That came out. That is the reason he may be stopping us also. If he fits into our smart category guy, then he may be doing this. ನೀನು ಒಂದು ಹಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಅವನು ಪ್ರೀ ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Okay? So can you ensure that you check that, take that hint and immediately ask Ravi to check that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is that ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ he doesn't come back and say that okay, as a mature client saying that hey guys, looks like you have not looked into this angle and this may be the cause of issue.
Okay.
Still he is not getting convinced that he Deloitte, see what his point is that there are Pro and Work settings which I do. Okay? On top of it, Deloitte runs their triggers. So he's saying that when it enters Deloitte triggers, why is it failing now? So he wants us to, give that solid understanding before he reaches there. That is where, he's causing us the pain.
ಹೌದು. Yeah.
Two reasons could be that one, he has already looked into issue. He wants us to come back and tell him that, this is the issue boss. We have also identified this. We will fix it. Maybe.
ಹೌದು. And that idiot, I think, ಅವ್ನು ಪ್ರೋ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸುರೇಶ್. ದಟ್ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನನಗೆ ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಲೋಫರ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ನನಗೆ
ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ see that is the reason I try to reiterate that with Julie that what are we trying to do.
Correct, yeah.
Right? And that's where I was like most calmest in my composure in terms of nurturing him, giving him that love and ultimately going to Julie as well. Then Julie agreed that let's get it ultimately. मुझे वही चाहिए था that let's get it because I think and then his worry was that on the non worry ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ see he is thinking that we are putting that defect on him. That is the reason he is not allowing.
ಅದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೂಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ದವನು ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ.
ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ
ಈ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೇ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಟಾಕ್ ದೇರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಬಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಕಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಸುರೇಶ್ he told honestly saying like Julie I don't know what to talk technical in that meeting so I want you
okay,
to
that way that okay see that is what how the problem I will tell you Joe's problem is he doesn't want ownership.
Correct.
Now,
yeah
thinking that once he agrees to Pro and Work we'll assign it to him and then make him run around.
yeah correct.
Which I think he because see if he has to run around now he's digging into everything to to ensure he has that deal. He's very slow about it. That is where I said, okay, we will talk, Baba. You just establish a call. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
Talking to them makes more sense to us. It will be easy. And Julie one better, neat, takatak, this is what it is. This is the issue what we are facing. Now with this is the issue what we are facing. Now this standardization is not working. Please check and let us know.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Ultimately, that is what it is. And tomorrow, what I'm also trying to think to ask Julie is that ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು.
ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಸೊ ಆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ 910 wherein lead was working right and then
ಮತ್ತಿನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
that is fine and then ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ that we will take it as a part of IPC3 ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು UAT ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
Yeah, ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು.
And stuff. So that I will try to take it up with her tomorrow because she's involved and she I feel is a responsible lady like us. I mean, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅವನಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವಳು.
ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇವ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ TM ಡೆಮೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹಿಂಡದ್ನೋ ಏನೋ ಅವನು ನೀಲು
ಆಕಾಶನು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಟು ಆಕಾಶ್. ಈಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅವ್ನು ತಪ್ಪು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕಾಲ್ ದರಸಲ ಕಾಲ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ 5 ಅಂತ. ಆಸ್ ಅ ಟೆಕ್ ಲೀಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್.
ನಾನು
ಅದೇ
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ಡೈಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನಂದ್ರೆ
ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಿಗರಿಗೆ
ಜಂಪ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್.
ಯಾ ಯಾ
ನೀನು ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ಲ ಬನ್ನಿ ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ತಾನೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಸಾಯ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಐ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರಾಂಗ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಜೆಂಟ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೌದು ಯಾ
ಹುಚ್ಚು ನನ್ನ ಮಗ. ದೆನ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ನೋ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡೆಲಿವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನು. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೇಳೋದಿತ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜೋಗೆ. ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೀವಪ್ಪ ನೀನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ ರೈಟ್.
ಹೌದೌದು ಯಾ
And that is where, see, now what I want you to do is, basically let's discuss that. 15-20 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಬೈಗಳ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಕತೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾನೆ ಇದನ್ನ. ಇದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅವ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ ಅವ್ನು ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಬಗರ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್, ದೀಸ್ ಮುಸ್ತಫಾ ಈ ನೀಲ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕಾಲ್.
ಹೌದು ಯಾ
And I personally feel that why can't, I mean, ಜಗರ್ಗೂ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ ಜಗರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಅವ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ದ ಆಗ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಡೆಮೋ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ನಿನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ದ ಡೆಮೋ ಬಾಸ್, ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ರೈಟ್. ಡೆಮೋನೇ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ ಎಸ್ he can't set up a thing saying that okay we will complete the demo, we'll come back and open up for the questions.
ಹೌದು
Why should we take up all the questions and multiple people jumping in over there, right? Multiple people jumping in also. And one feedback to you also is that, see, when you realize that somebody is convinced, don't again go and explain them, because if you, the moment you did that, I told you, right, do not confuse ಅಂತ ಬರೋದಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಹಿಡಿದ ಬಂದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೂರಜ್ ಅದು ಹೊಸ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಅದು ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್
ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನೋಡು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಗಾಟ್ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್. ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಎಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಐಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್, ಸಿ don't take me wrong in terms of I constantly ask you to speak, by the way.
ಇಲ್ಲ that I got it, yeah, but this point what I spoke, it was a mandatory point, so that is why I told.
Super corner case ಅಂತ ನೀನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ is what my question is.
ಅಲ್ಲ so that
I give feedback, right? I know it. See, basically what I'm trying to say is that today's demo was not going fine, right? They agreed that okay there can be some cases anta helidvi, then that is fine. Then he agreed, right? Then we try to say that okay there is one super corner case anta adna ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. Do not confuse them, baba. Leave it, because ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಗೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸಿ I asking some SAP questions, right? How will that do? It will sound very stupid. That's what they are doing, these people.
ಹೌದು yeah.
Mustafa as well as this guy. So what one thumb rule I follow, I will tell you also, maybe if it helps you. ನಾನೇನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಕಿಶೋರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊ, ಅವ್ನಿಗೊಂದು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫೈನ್, ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್. I know the content, I should not beat there. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಮುಂದೆ ಜಿಗಿತಾನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹೌದು I got it, yeah.
Right? So same thing with Akash also. ನೀನೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂ ಅಂದಿದ್ರು ಅವರು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ದಿಮಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಕೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಎಡಿಷನಲ್ ಮಾತಾಡಲೇಬಾರ್ದು ಇವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್. ಎಡಿಷನಲ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಜೋತ್ ಬೀಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಜೋತ್ ಬೀಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಜಿಗರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೇ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂ ದ ಡೆಮೋ. ಡೆಮೋನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಅದು ಅಂತೂ
ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ.
ಗುಡ್ ಒನ್, ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಒನ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಐ saw today.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ನೋ ಏನೋ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಗುಡ್ ವೇ, ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೆಲ್.
ಡೆಮೋ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಲಿ ಹೌ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಡು ಡೆಮೋಸ್, ರೈಟ್?
Okay, the questions to be
exactly. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋ ಫ್ಲೋ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಡನ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಕವರ್? ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ when Suraj is not on page, how the hell can anyone be there like Joe and other people
Correct,
on the same
correct.
page?
Yes.
Because they came there not an intention to see demo. It is like my grievance. You are not giving me time. You are not giving me designs. You are not reading my comments.
Oh,
What is stopping Akash from doing this? I seriously and sincerely don't know that. ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಶೋರದ್ದು ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನನಗೆ
ಮೈಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಯಾಕಾಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳೋದು? ಐ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಡೇ, ರೈಟ್? ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ. ಇವರು ತಮಗೆ ಯಾರು ನಮ್ದು ಯಾರು ಹೌದು ಅಂತ
ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ, ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾಯಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಂದು.
ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತೈತೆ ಅಂತ.
I'm predicting that. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಬಾಯಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಿನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಳೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಳೆ. ಮೊನ್ನೆನೇ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. ಸಿ ಮೈ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಡೋನು ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಡು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ರೆಗ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ನನಗೂ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನೀತ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ.
ಓ ಹೌದಾ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 9:30 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ರಿಯಲಿ set it up without asking me, right? Then he said no, it's optional for you to then manage it. ಅಷ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮಿಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ they don't know. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಸಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇದನೋ ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಗೈ ಆಕಾಶ್. ಬಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ and go and speak out over there, then people will bash you, right? ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡು ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡು ನಾನು ಅಂತಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸತಿ, ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ದಿದೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾವು ಅದು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವೇ,
ಏನು ಅಂತಾನೆ
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ವಾರದ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ when she has come back from the leave, she's kind of shown it to us and she has put her steps. So it essentially means she knows. So she has not asked for help. How can we help?
ಹೌದು.
ತಲೆನ ನಾನು ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗಿತ್ತು. See, when you can defend it better is when you know this. ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ಜಿಗರ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಶೀಟಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ SFDC CRM ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಓಪನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದೌದು.
ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಮ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು Salesforce ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ. ಇವನ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ನೋ. ನಾನು ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅವನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್
ಮುಂಚೆ ಅವ್ನು ಫುಲ್
ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫುಲ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಶಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಅವನು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅವನು ಮುಂಚೆ ಫುಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಏನು ಆಯ್ತು
ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ ಕಣ. 360 ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಅವಳೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ನೋಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತೂ ಕಾಲ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನಿಗಂತೂ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. But these two people have to understand this, right? If they don't understand this, then how is that going to work? Not for Mandivaru, and then for everything we cannot go and defend them, right? How can we defend?
ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಅದು ಬಿ ಹಿಲಾರಿಯಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡು, ನೀನು ಏನೇನು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ
ನಾನು ನೋಟ್ಸು
ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಏನೇನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
ನಾನು ಬರೀ ಅದು MD70 ಎಂಬೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಸೂರಜ್, ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ತರ ಅದು ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಪ್ಶಾಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಆ ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಪ್ಶಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು MD70 ಎಂಬೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೊದಲೇ ನಮಗೆ.
ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ವಿಷ್ಣು, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ಐ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಫೀಲ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ನು ಬರ್ತಾ ತಿಂತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಸೇ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನೀವು ಹಂಗ ಅಂತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಜಿಗರಿಗೂ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು. ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಜಿಗರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು. ಏನೋ ಜಿಗರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಪುಲ್ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ಡೆಮೋ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದು ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ 717 ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಡೆಮೋ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಸೂರಜ್ ಆಕಾಶ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಡೆಮೋಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಡೆಮೋ. ಬಟ್ ಆಕಾಶಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಎಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ರವಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಕ್ಷತ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಯಾವ ಅಂತ. ಜಿಗರು ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ TR ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸೂರಜ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬರೋರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರ್ದು ಲೂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ.
ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮೇಲ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಒಂದರ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ ನಮಗ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ನೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಯು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಒಂದೇ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ದಿಸ್ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Yeah, sure.
ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, do you feel that he was harsh in response to client question ಅಂದ?
ಯಾರು?
ಜಿಗರ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾನೇ no we were not harsh, I felt they were harsh on us by bombarding all the unwanted question outside the context of this demo.
ಹೌದು 100%. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಂಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು? ಹುಚ್ಚ ಅವನು. ನಾವು ಇರೋ ಬರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಕೇಳ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಜ್ಞಾನಲ್ಲಿ
ಹಾಂ,
things are not the same as they come to you. Always look at the intricacy of it, or always look into details of it.
Correct.
ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅದಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ನಂಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾನಂದ್ರೆ he wanted me to say that yes, Akash was harsh on them, he was kind of taking on them, kind of that.
ಓಕೆ.
Okay, you got it. No? Straight questions, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. So sometimes you have to see, yeah, this is what it is ಅಂತ.
ಸದ್ಯ USA ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಅವನು ಅವಾಗಿರೋದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾಂ, ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ ಒಂದು ಬಿಡ್ದಲೆ.
ಬಿಡದೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡು, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ harsh ಇದು, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? These people were like asking questions. Right?
ಇನ್ನೂ
Joe was like kind of nagging into the recorded session saying that I'm not comfortable. These are all not good signs, if you see.
ಮೇ ಬಿ ರೈಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜಿಗರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ರಾಜ ಅಂತ.
That is fine. Here, now I'm able to see us.
ಯಾ ಸುರೇಶ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾ ಈ ಶೀಟ್ನೇ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. TR ಲೋಡ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟಿಗೆ. ಸೊ
One second, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಲ್ಲು. If you want me to really look at it, then go slow.
Yeah, sure. So this two designs, I think that is fine.
One second, buddy. Hang on to the first. There are some comments which he has given, so I'm just trying to check that. In the execute batch section, what does the functionality block contain? The functionality, okay. Execute batch or trigger section. Execute batch or trigger section. Okay, fine. This functionality, 1 second, Kishore.
Okay, none. Okay.
You're not listening to my voice also. यहाँ पे functionality I've not read his response.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, can you read that response? Let's go together.
ಅದು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಿದೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅವನು ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆನಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ.
Okay.
You want to read that for me?
Okay, in execute batch trigger section, what does that functionality block contains? So over here, and the functionality blocks are like update type actions and other related actions, which are like for particular records, only for each record.
Okay, let me see. And then update types is now hakilla. Okay, one of the feedback what I take from this is that update type now hakilla illi na batch alli, right?
Functionality, okay.
So I'll hakilla now because that's one of the core and heart of it, right?
Yeah.
So fair enough. So that is one. At least that is how I want us to holistically check as well. Yeah, bhai. I felt this was time I think about Akash didn't handle Joe properly. But no. You see what I said?
ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ನನಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಏನೋ ಟಚ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಅದೊಂದಾಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲೇ, ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್. Then I said that he wanted me to say that Akash was harsh ಅಂತ andala. Our line that he has written me now.
Yep.
I felt thing was fine. I think Akash didn't handle Joe properly. I'll speak with Akash. Not on one thing.
ರಾಮ.
Yes, please do. And also he looked out of sync for the update type discussion to be handled in sprint 5, which was wrong. You see, right? This is how you have to anticipate things. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಅದೇ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ.
ನೈಸ್.
Okay, next. The first question is fine. I think that is okay. Then what is second? ಇದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು that is what he is requesting now. Sure. ಅಂದ್ರೆ could you add something to archive block? Added below as point number 9, please review. Okay, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ತೆಗ್ದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಇದು ಶೇರ್ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಇದು
ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ
ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ
ಇದು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್. ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೋಕಲ್ ದೆನ್ let's have him run the demo ಅಂತ.
ದೇವ್ರೆ.
Otherwise, let myself and Kishore handle. I felt Kishore did great handling on the flight tech questions. Yes, again. Yes. I don't want to feel it. You know, ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಈಗ ಡೆಮೋಸ್.
ಬೇಡ.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ ಬಿಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಸತಿ ಅವನು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಕಾಶ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಂದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಏನಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಓಕೆ will be active, the parent territory must not be active. ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ parent territory should be active while the rule is active. ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವನು ಯಾರು
ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಯಾ
ಇವನ್ನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡೆಡ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಓನ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
exactly are only uploaded territories are active. There isn't a situation where territories and rules will be prepared beforehand to make active at the same time. Territories must exist and be active for the rules to be assigned, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, so now the question is first ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾವು ಟೆರಿಟರಿನ ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಹೌದು, ಇವನು ಇದನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿಬಿಟ್ಟು
ಇಲ್ಲ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೈನ್, ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್ ಕ್ಯಾ ಹೈ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದು MD70 ಇದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ತಾನೇ ಇದು
ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದು. ಹೌದು, ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್
ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ okay, chip in start with one. Yes, apologies, that's fine. I was thinking that the process will set a record type associated account name. Update existing rules for impending developments in case of update type COD. Territory rule will not have more than one record type going forward. Territory rules, so setting of the record type is not done here. On update type functionality, yes, part of update type functionality, setting of end dates for existing rules will be done here. That is where I am saying. So every question we will have to kind of retrospect it like this to understand ki yen helak try ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಜೋ, right? So ಅಜೋದ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ,
ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಇದು ಈ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ.
Okay, another button will be provided, can validate and produce an error and go to validated records.
ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬಟನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಬಟನ್ನ ಜಸ್ಟ್
So this is, I was thinking that this will set the record time.
ಇವನಿಗೆಲ್ಲ
Set existing rules for impediments of update type C and D. Okay. ठीक है. Next to loading validation. So ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಈಗ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? By the way, we are still into staging load.
ಹೌದು, ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೋಡ್. Okay, so
this is where I am saying, right? So this needs to be corrected, sure. Because ನಾನು see point ಏನಂದ್ರೆ see ನಾನು due to other things I'm not getting into this level now, but ಇದು ನೋಡು, this we discussed already on Thursday with him. Why is this still comment there? 28 minutes ago, that too if you see.
ಅದೇ ಇವಾಗ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನೋಡು. ಸೊ ಯಾ
Okay, let's see this now. ಈಗ ಓಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ನೋಡೋಣ. Update type action for C and D of setting up the effective date of the existing territory rules will be handled during push to core batch processing. The rules will be deactivated and activated. The rules, rules will be deactivated during the nightly job. Okay, fine. So as for the update type D, we are deactivating the existing rules. So should we insert that particular rule which has update type D to the core table? Right? Let's think about it. right? Because he's asking please confirm. So किसके लिए है confirmation पता नहीं है मुझे. If he has asked you to confirm, yeah, then we are at the right place to confirm that. So update type as a D. D ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಬೋಣ. D ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? We are deactivating the existing rule. We are deactivating the existing rule because it's a D. Correct. So should we insert that particular rule which has update type D to the code table? My question is that this rule will already be existing in the code table.
Correct, yeah.
Right? Ultimately, then is there a place wherein we can directly go and update a rule? Just asking you.
Yeah, we do have a place. I mean, like,
Rule. Hierarchy ಅಲ್ಲ, rule.
rule ಅಲ್ಲಿ no Suraj.
We did not, right? So if at all the type D comes, what we have to do is basically set the update type equal to D for the hierarchy which is mentioned in the rule. That is what I can think of.
Correct, yeah.
Correct?
And
What I'm saying is, let me repeat it.
yeah, ನಿಮ್ಮ question anything
If,
sir?
if at all update type equal to D for
Yeah.
the rule comes in into a file,
Yeah.
it is there into our staging table and rules validation is completed.
Mm-hmm.
Post that, when we are pushing it to the code, what I'm saying is that the territory against which the rule has update type of D, that territory value we have to take, and then we have to update the end dates for all the rules which matches to that territory. And
Correct.
then we have to put update type equal to D on those territory when we update the end date.
Correct.
So what would happen? The nightly batch will wake up, it will check the end date, and I don't think it will check the update type. Only it will check the end date if I'm not wrong.
ಹೌದು, yeah. And
That
it will
be
deactivate.
deactivated.
Yes.
That's it. That is what I can think of. So that would be the answer to Mr. Raghav. And also what I will suggest is that we have to be very careful now in terms of these loads and the designs, right? What we have to make sure that they are all taken care of. I mean, when I'm saying that, we properly Mr. Akash Mukko ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಪಾಳ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಹಿಂಗಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಇದು ತಿಳ್ಕ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು.
I don't know why the hell did he say that update type will be taken up in
Sprint file.
Last time also we have told the same thing. Last time on the call also I updated Akash there. Why does
ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
Nobody.
ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅದಲ್ಲ ಜೋ ಅವನು.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು, ಯಾ. ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಅಂತ.
ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಇದಾನೆ ನೋಡು, ಹಾಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಫ್ರೀ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕೋ.
ಹೌದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. Update type will not affect any other rule, just insert and okay. Above load process will load the territory rule record with the update types to the core territory rule object, so user can check what update type of action of particular rule did. Update type D will delimit the existing active territory rules of the territory to which it is being added. Although the old rules will be deactivated on the effective date at 12 o'clock, the deactivated rule will show the end date equal to dtap -1 for this. So here we have to ask him whether he is also updating the update type as D. Then update type C will replace all the existing rules of the territory to which it is added. In this operation, the existing rule will be delimited and the new rules will be updated with type equal to C. Okay, will become active. Although the old rules will be deactivated at this, okay, the effective end date is this. After all the rules have been activated or deactivated, TN determination will begin. Okay, so I think what we should say is that this processing is available at processing at the staging table ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್?
ಅವನು ಅವೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ.
ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ಅವೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನು, ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
ರಾಘವ್ದು
ಅವೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಅವನು.
ಅವೇ ಇದಾನ?
ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ.
Okay, see, that is fine. So I'm just thinking yes, ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜೋ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನೈಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಏನು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೀವು ಇದು ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬರಿ ಒಂದು ನೈಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಹೊಡೆದು ಒಂದು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದು ಬರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Here you say that processing done at ಎಲ್ಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಟ್ ಪುಷ್ ಟು ಕೋರ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಡನ್ ಆಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡನ್ ಆಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ upon click of push to code upon click of push to code. Okay, so then what you should say that push to code. So then once again
Okay.
just say push to code. Push to code ಇದು ಮಾಡೋಣ capital P push to code ಮಾಡು. So what we have to tell him is that okay, so updating of the updating of the various ಏನಂತಾರೆ
Update types.
ಏನಂತೇವೆ
Update types.
update types quotation ಅಲ್ಲ because it's a technical word there, right? Quotation.
Okay, ಅದು
Various types and population of the end date. Population of the effective end date, whatsoever you want to call it as, that effective end date.
And the likely jobs will do the activation and deactivation.
ಒಂದು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್
ಇದಾ
ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅದರ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಡನ್ ಅಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಡೇಟ್ is done upon clicking of the push to code is what I am trying to say.
Okay, so ಇದು ಫುಲ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಮಾಡು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ವಿತ್ ಕೊಟೇಶನ್
ಓಕೆ
ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಡನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಡನ್ ಆಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಡನ್ ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟು
ಡನ್ ಓಕೆ
processing of update types and population of the effective end date is done at staging. Is done at staging table upon click of push to core na idu madu matte push to core is one button, right? Quotation anna hakadna quotation anna hako push to core click of push to core button. Activation and deactivation. Activation/deactivation of the rules will be done by the nightly job. Yeah, that's also fine. Nightly job will perform the activation/deactivation of the rules. ಇದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ then it is like yes fine you got it right. ಅವ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಓದಕ್ಕಾಗಂಜು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮದು ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಸ್
ಬಟ್ ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನಾಯ್ಸ್ ಟುಡೇ
ಹೌದು ಅವನು ರೆಡಿಯಾಗೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದಂಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ
ಈಗ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಇವ್ನು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನು ಕೋಪ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ನಾನು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಟ್ ತಿನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ನನಗೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟೇನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕಾಲ್ ಇರೋದು ಡೆಮೋ TM RARD ಅವನು TR ಇಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಸ್ತಫಾ ಬೇರೆ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀರೋ ಆಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಗ್ರೇಗ್ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ದ ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ದ
ಅವನೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಜೋ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ನನಗನ್ಸೋ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ತರೋರು ಇದ್ರು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ.
Yeah.
ಸಿ ದ ಸಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ವೇರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಪ್, ಬಟ್
ಸದ್ಯ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸೂರಜ್, ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೋ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾರಲ್ಲ.
ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹರಿ ಅಪ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫೈನ್. ಎನಿವೇಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ವಿನ್ ಎನಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಟುಡೇ.
ಹೌದು ಯಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Unless and until you know Akash has requested that this has to be sent today for review with Joe, then we are okay.
ಶೋರ್ ಎಸ್. ಇದೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ನೀಟ್ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದೆ ಅಂತ
Parent territory rule should be active while the rule will be active. The parent territory must not be activated. ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೋ ನಿಮಗಾನೋ ಯಾವ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೋ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೋ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. With that, let me open up, check ಎಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಆರ್ಕೈವ್ MD70, ಓಕೆ, UNCR MD70 ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಪ್ರೋಚಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚಸ್ ಜುಲೈ 15, ಜುಲೈ 23ಗೆ ಇವನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೋ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್. And Akash has to own this, right? If he's doing the design discussions with him, he has to go there, check what comments he has given, and then he has to make sure that all of these things are updated, right?
ಏನು ಸೂರಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಡಿಸೈನ್
ಅಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಪ್ಪ. ಈಗ ಅವ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ when he's reading design, when I say he's talking to Joe on the designs, ಅವ್ನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ then he has to respond to him. ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಜುವಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು?
ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟು, ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಗೊಂಬಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಇದ್ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಸರ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಇದೆಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು ಬರೀ ಎರರ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಜೋ ಆಕಾಶ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತಿದ್ರನೋ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ RRD ಮಾಡು ಅಂದಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿರ್ತಾನ. ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಬರುತ್ತಷ್ಟೇ, ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರೋದು ಏನು SAP ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಯಪ್ಪ
August 4th ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ನಾಳೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ there is a meeting with Coroners. Okay, fine. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟು, ಇವ್ರು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮನೆ ಜೂಲಿ ಏನೋ ನೀನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬನ್ನಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
ನಾನು ಅದು
ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೂ ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಕಳ್ಸಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಹಂಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರ ಏನಾದರೂ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು
they expect the things, I think so.
ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಜೋಗು ನಾನು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ
ಓಕೆ
ಫಾರ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಪ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್, ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ರೆಪೋ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಜೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಎಗ್ರಿ ಆದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಓಕೆ ಅಂತ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಟು ಮೀ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಸ್ maybe, right? So are you convinced with what we have written there below?
Yeah, Suresh.
To go and stuff like that.
this is all good. Yes.
ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ದಡ್ಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ.
ನಾನು ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೈಡೇಸ್ ಒಂದು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಸುರೇಶ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಇವನಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಒಮ್ಮನೆನಿಗೆ.
ನಮ್ದು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅದೇ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಮಂಡೇ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ಡೇ. ಸೊ 2 days ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಅಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ ಐಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಜನರಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ 6:30 7:30 ಮುಗಿದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್?
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಎನಿವೇ ಸಿ ಟುಡೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಟಿಲ್ 9 o'clock 10 o'clock whatsoever it is, anyways we work.
ಹೌದು
Not a problem.
Sure. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಇರೋದು ಡೆಮೋ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ 30th ಅಲ್ಲ?
Yes, that is correct. So now let's see. I mean, now that will spin out. Now I would have loved Akash to join here and then see this. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ, ಸೊ ಗೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ he is not that kind of a person who if you send the file he will review your comment and go and add it into the document. ಅದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. He is not. Had it been me or you would have done it.
ಹೌದು,
Till the what I'm trying to say.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
You will not go and do it. But
Yes.
we should ask him to own that. Now that he is owning it, then he has to go and own it and he has to discuss with the team. What is this guy seriously drive ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ. ಬಂದು ಬರೀ ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಬಂದು. ಓಕೆ,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ನಾಳೆನೇ ಕಳ್ಸೋಣ ಸುರೇಶ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅದು ಡೆಮೋನೇ ನೋಡಿರೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ನಿನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈನ್.
ಹಾಂ ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಬರ್ದಿಟ್ಟು
ಹೇಳು ಆಕಾಶ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಚೆಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಟೀಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಹೌದೌದು, ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತ.
ನೀನು ಅದು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್, ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್. Link, okay, path, fine. And then what you should say is, please review this and then
ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಕರೆಗೋ ಕಾಲ್.
please review this and once you review, please update the comments in line with Joe's document on SharePoint. Please feel free to. I assume, I trust you will review the comments.
ಹಂಗ್ ಬರಿಲ್ಲ,
Huh?
ಹಂಗ್ ಬರಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ.
Okay, I assume that's fine. I mean, I assume. I hope you will review this document. Yeah, you will review this document and respond to Joe's comments on SharePoint.
ಓಕೆ.
One second. Yeah. Post your review. I hope you will review. Post your review of this document. ಅದೇ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನೀಗ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು SharePoint?
ಸೂಪರ್. ಈ ಥರ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಬರ್ದು ಇವೇ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ.
ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ. ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ.
ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಬರಲ್ಲ.
Can you please respond to Joe's comments on SharePoint?
ಓಕೆ, ಸೂಪರ್. ಎಸ್.
Let us know if you have any questions ಅಂತ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. Let us know if you have any questions. ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಸಿರು ಹೇಳೋಣ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗಂದು ಇವತ್ತು ಇದು ಆಯಿತು, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
ಹೆಂಗಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್? ಅದು ಕೇಳೋಣ ಅಂತಿದ್ದೆ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇದ್ರು ಪ್ಯಾನಲಲ್ಲಿ?
ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್, ಕಿರಣ್ ಪೇವೇಕರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಶ್ರೀವಾಸ್ತವ, ಕಿರಣ್ ಪೇವೇಕರ್.
ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಕಿರಣ್ ಯಾರು?
So ನಾನು ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರು anyways I worked with both of them, so it was good. I think at least I covered with what I wanted considering the debate. Anyways, you sent this mail. I think looks like I have a bit, maybe Raghav would have joined.
Raghav, I think so.
Yeah, hi Suresh, hi Kishore.
Hey.
No.
So, कैसा लगा? What was your impression of the call today?
Very good job to both of you for handling them.
That is fine, but क्या लगा क्या?
लगा भाई पूछ क्वेश्चन ही खत्म नहीं होते उनके.
Yeah, questions खत्म नहीं हो रहे थे. Correct. That is one observation. What else?
What else?
What could be better?
Observation था तेरा. What else? Julie was looking beautiful today or not?
No, I didn't see.
ब्लश इतना कर रहा है तो
और कुछ देखा? और कुछ सुना? Any other observations you had?
take away points.
Nothing as of such. और तो कुछ नहीं.
Okay, only thing what we may have to do is, capture the documents correctly and then say that how that works, right? As a part of a training screenshot or something. we have to put
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
is one thing which we could observe,
Mhm.
right? And then I think did we cover all the functionalities today, or you felt that we didn't cover something?
थोड़ी बहुत चीजें थी जो मिस हुई थी, जैसे जैसे वो if you select a rule and you search a different rule, तो वो selected rule आपकी search results में रहता है. That functionality.
नहीं वो पहले से ही था ना.
Yes.
That is fine. वो पहले से ही था. Then that is why we did not cover that.
Yeah, that is fine then.
Yeah.
Okay, चलो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. So what ultimately we are saying is that कि रूल प्रोसेसिंग जो होता है, पुश टू कोड जब क्लिक करते हैं तो उसी बैच में सब अपना प्रोसेसिंग होता है. नाइटली बैच में एक्टिवेशन इनएक्टिवेशन उतना ही होगा.
Yes, I mentioned that same thing. Yes.
Perfect. And then you had a question there as well. Just you wanted to come down, Isha. Come down. I think below correct question था. We'll see if ये question हटा दे अभी. Can we delete this?
Yes, I wanted to ask, should we insert that D-type or not?
I don't think honestly we should because as per our discussion that day, right? क्या करना है? I will tell you. I just summarized that with Kishore, but as you are joined, see according to me what should happen is if there is one rule which is of type D, okay? When I click on push to code, वो rule जहाँ पे D है, you have to pick up the territory, okay?
Yes.
That territory you have to query in the code table, right? And whatever records you find, you have to update the type. Update type as D for that, number one,
Yes.
right? And while you update the type as D, you have to also update the end date for that. End date जो because see देखो core table में D type है, C type है, B type है, we don't care, right? When we are evaluating, correct?
Yes.
Only thing what will matter to us is whether it's active and then the not end dated, correct?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that for that, what you can do is just query the populate the update type and then end date जो है वो जो भी end date आता है फाइल में like the next day and effective date -1 जो तुम्हारा होता है वो करके रख दो वहाँ पे.
Yes. This is what we discussed, but उसके बाद योगेश said कि we should insert. I had discussed the same thing with Yogesh, and he was suggesting कि we should insert it to maintain कि अगर उनको बाद में देखना हो कि इस रूल ने क्या किया.
नहीं but point वही है कि देखो जो rule रहता है you don't have a easy way to go and update the rule. That is the problem.
Yes.
You cannot upsert the rule.
Yes.
Had you had that idea then we would have, but otherwise क्या होगा कि तुम just think over it, right? There are 10 rules now for one territory Bangalore. Now if you insert this 11th one, isn't it misleading?
Yes.
Because already जो तुम्हारा rule D में आता है that will be existing already there in the
Yes.
system. So it will be misleading. That's why with that thought process and logic I'm saying we should not.
Yeah.
Unless and until you guys tell me technically Suraj इससे technically हम लोग achieve नहीं कर पाएंगे then I may want to rethink it, but otherwise straightforward thing is this what I'm saying.
No, we can do it both ways. I was just thinking functionally where should we go?
नहीं हटा दो फिर इसको.
ठीक है.
किशोर यही था ना वो क्वेश्चन?
Yeah.
हटा दो इसको, डिलीट करो. डिलीट कमेंट. यस. नेक्स्ट व्हाट इज हिज नेक्स्ट? एक सेकंड जो वाला जो है हाँ ओके दिस वन नहीं सॉरी यू गो अहेड विद राघव's क्वेश्चन. राघव ये रेड वन किसने अपडेट किया है?
ये रेड जो ने डाला है. रेड से पहले मेरा था कि दिस वाज अ वैलिडेशन कि पेरेंट टेरिटरी शुड बी एक्टिव एंड जो रोड आफ्टर इट रूल कैन बी एक्टिव बट पेरेंट टेरिटरी मे नॉट बी.
एक सेकंड ना मुझे एक मिनट दो कोई
हाँ
नहीं
जी,
होता है. यू गाइस कंटिन्यू.
अरे राघव तब तो इसको रवि नहीं योगेश को भी बोलना है सेम फंक्शनैलिटी जैसा डी आता है नॉट टू इंसर्ट न्यू रिकॉर्ड. पर उसमें तो एक ही रिकॉर्ड है यार. चलो छोड़ दो उसका.
हाँ, मुझे योगेश ने बोला कि उनका डिस्कशन हुआ था कुछ हुआ था कि वी शुड इंसर्ट डी ताकि बाद में आप देख सको कि ये डी रूल आया था और इसने डीएक्टिवेट किया सबको. मतलब वो उसी पर्पस के लिए सिर्फ.
I see that. Okay आप क्या बोल रहे हो? फोर्थ पॉइंट पे आप बोल रहे हो पेरेंट टेरिटरी शुड बी एक्टिव.
Yeah, this was a validation.
While the rule will be that is fine. I'm just reading from this standpoint.
Yes.
While the rule will be active, the parent territory must not be activated. What the hell has he written? I don't understand honestly.
He has written कि parent territory active भी हो सकती है और inactive भी हो सकती है, both हो सकती है. But हमारे TMCR पेज नंबर 5 का मैंने रेफरेंस उठा के डाला है इधर कमेंट में और उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि पेरेंट टेरिटरी शुड बी एक्टिव. और मैंने फिर नीचे क्वेश्चन पूछा कि देयर सीम्स टू बी अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नीड कंफर्मेशन.
नहीं वो निकाल दे. मींस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट निकाल दो किशोर. दैट लाइन निकाल दो.
कैसे?
द कमेंट.
ओके
don't delete the comment बोला ये
Don't-
सुनता नहीं है मेरे को, ये confirm करता है every time.
Nee, how to remove this conflict?
No, wait. What I'm saying is, okay, you're saying you cannot. Okay, just click on that.
I'll do it.
Edit comment करोगे. Go to that comment I will tell you. Right click.
Okay.
Okay. So वहाँ पे directly modify नहीं कर सकते हैं?
I think I can क्योंकि मेरा कमेंट है.
कर फिर. तू निकाल उसको पहले. So okay, so वो भाई साहब क्या बोल रहे हैं? मैं उसका सेंटेंस भी अगर तुम देखोगे ना, एकदम से it's not very clear. While the rule will be active, the parent territory may not be active yet. Okay, so what he's trying to say is that कि अगर if we are creating any territory which future date, right, तो वो शायद activated नहीं रहेगा is what he's trying to say.
Yes.
But what we are also trying to tell him is that कि भाई means हमें for functionality angle से सोचते हैं कि territory active है तो ही active rules बना सकते हैं ना हम लोग.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So you are removing that.
Yes. Removed.
Okay. तो इसको इसे क्या करेंगे? How do you refresh this?
Arey Raghav, रुको एक मिनट, I'll just close it.
I think एक और एक चीज हमने मिस किया था राघव यहाँ पे, जो ब्लॉक डायग्राम है हमारा, वहाँ पे हमको अपडेट टाइप्स भी लिखना था ना, तो वो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है. वहाँ पे अपडेट टाइप्स हमने लिखा नहीं है, तो वहाँ पे ही आई थिंक इट्स ऑल द कंफ्यूजन एंड थिंग्स आर फ्लाइंग आउट देयर.
Yes. उस टाइम था नहीं ना अपडेट टाइप इसके अंदर.
वो तब नहीं था क्या?
हाँ जी.
नहीं था उसमें.
वही मैंने ऊपर जाके
ओके, क्यों नहीं
functionality
था?
को.
ओह गॉट इट. क्यों नहीं था? बिकॉज़ वी हैड डेवलप्ड इट अर्लियर.
This was high level design करके हमने डिजाइन किया.
And इसमें फंक्शनैलिटी ब्लॉक है ना लास्ट में.
That was covering update type.
Yeah, Joe was asking what is that, so I mentioned कि वो update type है. Is that fine?
या दैट्स फाइन.
No, पर ये कुछ नहीं हुआ है. मेरे में तो.
यहाँ पे वो लास्ट चली गई लाइन.
हाँ.
मैंने हटा दी.
Okay.
Okay, come down. That's fine. So I think जो का वो ठीक है. Then Raghav वाला was thinking the process will set the record type, update the existing rules of the impending deletes in case of update type C or D. So another button will be provided on the VF page using which admin can load the validated record which did not produce the error to the code table. Okay. Another button उससे अच्छा है कि ऊपर तुमने बटन का नाम दिया है ना दोस्त. Just go up, Kishore. Go. I mean, I want to see those 3 button names.
Validate, push to core and archive.
हाँ, तो इसमें कौन सा बटन है वो another button बोल सकते हैं कि validate button will be provided बोल सकते हैं ना हम लोग. So okay, territory rule will not have more than one record type. ये record type का क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
ये record type
मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि रिकॉर्ड टाइप भी सेट करना है.
यहाँ पे था.
बट रिकॉर्ड टाइप नहीं वहीं पे था उसके कमेंट के जस्ट ऊपर.
कमेंट के जस्ट के ऊपर. ओके.
ये 2 पॉइंट्स है ना इसमें. पॉइंट नंबर 1 जो का
नहीं, पर रिकॉर्ड टाइप हम क्यों सेट कर रहे हैं? रिकॉर्ड टाइप ही नहीं है ना.
पहले थे अब नहीं है.
तो ये फिर से रिकॉर्ड टाइप क्यों बोल रहा है?
यस वही फिर मैंने वही मेंशन करा है कि रिकॉर्ड टाइप सब नहीं है. एक ही रिकॉर्ड टाइप है सिर्फ.
Basically, the record type is done. Is not done here on update.
अरे it will
On
clearly
update
take.
type functionality. What is that on update type functionality?
पॉइंट
is-
नंबर 2. पॉइंट नंबर 2.
तो ऐसा तुम भी पॉइंट नंबर 1
Yes.
पे मैं रेस्पॉन्ड कर रहा हूँ बस. वो पहले ही कंफ्यूज्ड आत्मा है जिसको
रुको, मैं कर सकता हूँ.
प्रोवाइड कर सकते हो, करो. ऊपर भी फर्स्ट करके लिख दो किशोर उसको. पॉइंट नंबर 1.
अरे instead of doing this, we'll just tell there is no record type functionality. अरे यार, shit.
लेवल गोइंग फॉरवर्ड करके लिखो बस. बिकॉज अगर तुम ऐसे लिखोगे ना वो तुमको चिपकाएगा वो स्क्रीनशॉट. वी हैव टू रिकॉर्ड टाइप्स करके.
फुल टेस्ट में तो है.
Yeah, exactly. So he definitely born to do that. Okay.
Sure, first line ready. Territory will not have more than. Point
Yes.
number 1 से पहले.
point number 1 से ऊपर, yeah, you can just remove that line. On update type functionality, के update is part of update type functionality, that is setting of, क्या बोल रहा है वो, update related existing rules for impending developments.
But this has covered like we'll do it everything from push to core, right?
Yes, I mentioned the same. On update type functionality, what he was asking, part of it will be done at the push to core process, that is setting of end dates of existing rule.
So what you should say is just Kishore, just say that please refer to this section करके section में हमने नीचे एक add किया ना.
ये वाला.
Yeah. So you can say update type section below. We have updated to provide additional details. Yeah. We have updated section. वो कौन सा section है उसका नाम बताओ, quotation में डालो. Section action. Update type action करके एक section है.
Yeah.
Quotation में डाल दो. That's fine. Double quotes. Below with additional details. We have updated the updated section below with additional details. That's it. Yeah, that's fine. Please refer कर लेगा वो.
Yeah.
So yeah, come down and let's राघव एक बार देख ले. हमने वो second line जो है उसको add किया हमने clearly वहाँ पे.
Yes.
Second paragraph. Processing of the update types and the population of the effective date is done at staging table upon. Okay, is done from staging table to core है ना ये. Yeah. Is done at. Sure. Is updating update types, population and effective end date. Processing of the update types and population of the end dates is done at core tables. Yeah, and that is done at core table because we are doing it at the core table, right? Upon click of push to core button.
Okay. From
Nightly
staging
job.
table. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
This one.
Nightly job will perform activation. Will only perform करके लिखो. उसको खुश हो जाएगा वो only बोले तो. Perform activation and deactivation of rules. Make sense, Raghav?
It also performs redetermination. वो point number 5 में mention है. तो
That's fine.
yeah.
After the rules are activated, deactivated.
This is by default, right? That should be.
All the affected rules. Yes, that's why. We'll begin. No, territory read. Okay, TM redetermination will begin for all the affected rules. Okay, fine. I think this sounds good.
And yeah, Raghav, कल एक बार ये भी टेस्ट कर लेना, okay? In that RARD page, right? So ask 2-3 users. I mean, like either Yogesh, you, and me. So we'll select some 50 records or 30-40 records and trigger each of them at a single shot, okay? And we should see.
आपकी वॉइस ब्रेक हो गई. कल क्या कर लेना?
अरे वो कल ना, can you hear me now?
अभी भी हल्का हल्का ब्रेक हो रहा
ठीक है, कल बात करेंगे, चलो, no problem.
What he's saying is that you have that RARD page, right?
Yes,
जहाँ पे
yes.
तुम लोगों ने बोला कि trigger से less than 50 records process होते हैं करके आपने जो बोला.
Yes.
So what he's saying is that simultaneously तुम और योगेश दोनों select those first 50. तुम first 50 select करो, let him select first 30, and then select and then hit it. Let's see if at all it causes knocking. That is what you are trying to say, right?
Not the same records, but different 50 records and different 50 records.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think yeah, different 50 करके देखो. Anyways, I think that should work fine. But select that conflicting records also and see whether the record lock होता है क्या करके.
हाँ, it will happen, but unless and until if the record got processed, then it will not happen.
हाँ वही तो एक
It is super minute. Yeah, sure.
So आप भी करके देख. But एक चीज बता कि अगर वो lock हो गया तो क्या है? Then बाद में how are we going to unlock it?
No, it is just an error, that's all.
So it's basically I'm updating upon Deloitte. Now if there is one more process which seeks control for it, it says in the record is locked for modification.
Correct,
Once
yeah.
this process completes the modification, then it will open up. But in that case, what would happen? That 50, assume that I'm running 50 and Raghav is running 50 and Dev. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
So
now in that case, once that record happens, the trigger dies or it goes to the next record.
yeah, so one question, Raghav. So is it on
Or if
database?
it fail.
No, okay, it is on insert. हाँ ये database dot insert कर दो यार उसको.
But we won't get error then.
हाँ.
वो बस ignore हो जाएगा.
इग्नोर कैसे होगा, एरर तो आना है ना उसका ऊपर.
Database और insert अगर हम करें and उसमें error आ गया तो
Okay.
success वाले चले जाएंगे.
Success
false
वाले
वाले
चले.
error नहीं आएगा.
करेक्ट.
उसका भी लॉजिक लिख देंगे, वो हो जाएगा कि एरर दे वो फिर.
ऐसे कर लेंगे, हाँ वो एक लॉजिक लिख दे बस, ठीक है.
ठीक है.
पर वो लिखेगा कहाँ पे, ये यहाँ पे लिखना पड़ेगा तुझे, एरर ऑब्जेक्ट पे. अरे छोड़ दो यार, आई मीन लाइक लेट्स नॉट डू दैट ऑल क्रेजी स्टफ, बट लेट्स इम्प्लीमेंट. बस वो चेक करके देखना, फिर बाद में डिसाइड करेंगे कि क्या करना है उसमें.
But validate those scenarios. That's the whole thing, right? So let's see. इसका क्या होता है? Good. Next something.
राघव.
No, nothing.
All right. So if you are all good to close the call. I think just close this document so Mr. Mumanini can get the latest one.
Sure. I am.
एक चीज करना है किशोर.
हाँ सर.
वो जो अभी हमने ऐड किया ना, जस्ट उसको एक ये कर दो, ब्लू कलर फॉन्ट में ऐड करो, so that he knows that we have added. Otherwise he will not come to know that we have added that statement now, right?
Yeah, I will do that. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Other than that, I think we should be good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Bye bye.